Welcome to the first ever TacoCat podcast, brought to you and powered by TacoCat. TacoCat is a revolutionary cryptocurrency on the Binance Smart Chain, merging together a cryptocurrency lifestyle brand. Make sure to check the project out on Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Reddit, and more, and all the links will be down in the description below. Now, to kick things off, I wanted to talk about and share my opinions on the recent market-wide crash, so to speak. Some people have labeled it as a crash, other people call it a dip. Personally, as a crypto noob, so to speak, having only joined the space this February, my opinions probably don't mean much, and I'm not much of a technical analysis expert, but personally I feel like this whole dip across the whole market was probably orchestrated. You can see a lot of the FUD being recycled from articles that are spread pretty much every week. China bans cryptocurrency, India bans cryptocurrency. Then there's Elon Musk turning on everybody and tweeting stuff that doesn't make any sense and everybody just crapping all over him. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I just need to put on my tinfoil hat and calm down. But it seems like the whole dip was orchestrated to encourage those who are new to the game and some of those who are prone to panic to just sell their coins and allow the big fish to fill their pockets. It's a tale as old as time, it seems. That could be the case here, especially now with the market looking like it's on the way to recovery. Now, perhaps it's too soon to speak about a recovery. We probably need to see a higher price for Bitcoin to state that a recovery is happening, but I do believe that while maybe not this month, maybe not even in the next week or two, but eventually I do believe we're going to see a return to the previous prices that we saw over the past weeks and months, and we might even see a rally to a new all-time high for Bitcoin and many of the other coins in the top, as well as some other meme coins. Now, meme coins are actually another point that I wanted to bring up, and this is a neat way to tie it together. These days, even Elon Musk promotes his own meme coin. Now, not to cause any hatred or spite in the Dogecoin community, I have nothing but respect for everybody in this space, but you have to admit that the coin has no use case in and of itself, and it's simply being pushed by Elon, who seems to just want to have control over as many things in his life as possible. He wants people to follow him and praise him, and I'm not going to go on a 10-minute rant here of my personal opinions on Elon Musk, but I do like seeing that the overall sentiment is changing towards him and people are not as much affected by his tweets anymore. Recently, he made another tweet about Bitcoin and how bad it is and all of its environmental impacts and all of that, but instead of the price tanking, the price actually kept going up for a good few hours after that tweet. So it seems to be that perhaps maybe his tweets didn't have the effect that people thought they did in the first place. Maybe he was just a scapegoat for all the other stuff going on. Well, that's an interesting topic to bring up, and make sure to comment down below with what you think about this whole situation and what you think of Elon Musk and his influence on the space. It's probably safe to say that we can all agree that one man having such influence over prices going up and down is not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing. But moving on to the so-called shitcoin market, is it dead? Is it going to make a return? Different people have different opinions. I don't think that this sort of market can ever really go away, because these days pretty much anybody can create their own coin. People can team up together. You can market, you can spread word about your coin in such easy ways. It's incredible how much money there is in the shitcoin market, how many new coins come out every day, and if you're lucky enough to invest in one that catches on and gets very popular, then you can become even a millionaire off of these sort of investments, and it's incredible. You would think that it's like magic internet money. You wouldn't think that the establishment or the higher power would allow people to get rich off of shitcoins and stupid things like this, but it's still kind of in its infancy. While a lot of people are kind of catching the whiff of the shitcoin market, there's still plenty of people that don't know about it, don't know that this sort of stuff goes on, and how relatively easy it is to make huge gains off of these sort of coins. Of course, it's just as easy to lose all of your money and get scammed, rug pulled, honeypotted, and plethora of ways that you can lose your money playing with these sort of coins. But what I'm interested in is to observe the coming months, how this market will behave and what kind of trends it's going to set. I don't think it's ever really going to go away, especially with Binance becoming more and more popular and mainstream. I think it's just going to bring the shitcoins along with it. Now, of course, if in the coming future some sort of harder regulations come into place for crypto, which could be a possibility, there could be a chance that shitcoins and scams like this are going to be harder to pull off. But on the other hand, can you really regulate crypto? It's not really that simple to do, and governments are probably scratching their head on how to do it. And in the meantime, there's plenty of money to be made on those. Now, obviously, I would just like to point out that this podcast is in no way financial advice, and do not base your investment decisions off of anything I say here. But I have made personally some insane money on shit and meme coins this year. And I made a year's worth of wage in half a day trading these shit coins. And it's incredible to me, and I still can't understand and fathom how this sort of thing is possible and how it went under my radar for so long. And just think how many other people are there that don't know that this sort of thing is possible, and how many more people are going to jump in on this, and how much more potential and growth there is for these kind of coins to come into existence and become more mainstream, especially as Bitcoin grows and pulls along all the other coins with it. The entire crypto market capitalization growing in the years. There is so much potential. Like these days you can create a coin called anything at all, theme it around whatever you want. Obviously, try not to get hit with a cease and desist and get into all sorts of copyright fights, but you can create a coin for anything. You can team up with your friends, create a coin, post it all over the internet, attract people into buying it, and you can literally work for yourself as a project owner and developer, and it's absolutely fascinating. Apart from all the scams going on, this sort of market brings a lot of opportunities, and I can attest to this personally, having had zero experience with crypto in February, getting into it, and now being part of projects myself. And being in this space, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I think that while, as I said, there's a lot of scams and money being lost in this sort of market, it does bring a lot of opportunities. And even to tell you how many gains I missed out on by selling certain coins too early, coins like SafeMoon, coins like CumRocket, with their ridiculous names, but you would never think that this sort of stuff can make people rich, but it does. And in a way, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's decentralized. It gives people freedom. And for that, I think we should all appreciate it for what it is. It can be a toxic space at times. That much is true, but I think it's something that can and should be appreciated and utilized to the best potential. Now to move on to the next segment, where I wanted to discuss the project that powers this podcast, TacoCat. The TacoCat podcast, of course, is named after it. The aim of this podcast as we move along and release new episodes is to bring on guests, feature some cool things, discuss the crypto world and some news related to it, try to stimulate discussion with you, the listeners, and just have a fun time together, bring something new to the table, have some casual discussions, and TacoCat is definitely a topic for discussion. This coin is trying something new, something that no other cryptocurrency has tried to date. It tries to blend the mainstream markets with the meme coin markets and create a cryptocurrency lifestyle brand, something which You never know. It could catch on and become very big. Right now, TacoCat has some exciting things lined up, like a Satoshi Street Bets AMA happening this Wednesday, which is known to pump coin prices up like crazy. Other than that, there's a rumored exchange listing happening somewhere down the line relatively soon, as well as NHL Stanley Cup Finals ads, which TacoCat will be featured at every single game of the final this summer, which is, have you seen any other coin achieving something like this in such a short span of time? TacoCat has been out for about a month now, and it's already establishing connections like advertisements at NHL finals. That's crazy. Crazy. And one other very, very fun thing to mention would be that TacoCat was mentioned in a Bloomberg article. I'm going to leave the link for that down in the description so you can read it yourself. It was a passive mention, but it just shows you, and as well, this ties in neatly to the point about the shitcoin market, that these things are becoming so incredibly mainstream that even Bloomberg is writing about them. Crypto is everywhere, but not just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin and all the mainstream ones, but obscure and upcoming projects like TacoCat are being mentioned everywhere. And this just shows you how much potential there still is, but how the potential is slowly being revealed and realized. And the fact that you're still early in this whole market, especially in TacoCat as a project, you're incredibly early with the things that are planned down the line. It's crazy. And it's worth taking a look at. I'm not going to sit here and tell people what to buy, but it's worth taking a look at for sure. All the links are down in the description. And of course, don't feel forced that you have to buy into TacoCat to listen to this podcast or to be a part of this little community that's being formed here. You don't need to, but it's worth researching. It's fun, and there's big things planned, like an NFT marketplace where you can also obtain NFTs of the merchandise that you buy from TacoCat, which is something very, very cool. The NFTs are planned to have dynamic and changing attributes. There's also a Taco Launchpad planned, an incubator for up-and-coming, legitimate and promising cryptocurrency projects. There is also a tequila token announced down the line, which will work as a governance token, allowing the community and holders to take part in important decision making, as well as a decentralized exchange called Natural Swap. And all of this and much, much more is coming down the line for TacoCat. So as I said, it's very, very interesting to take a look at. And I just wanted to sign this short podcast off by announcing a questions and answers segment. Now, obviously, I don't have any questions right now, as this is the first podcast, but I wanted to sort of encourage you to ask any questions you may have, or any discussions that you would like to raise down in the comments, and in the upcoming podcast episodes, I can answer these questions, talk about the different topics that you want to talk about, and we can have an ongoing discussion across all the episodes, answer some questions, and have some fun. So, like I said, make sure to leave your questions down below, and I'm going to get to them in the next podcast, which shouldn't be released in too long. I'm going to try and release these podcasts as frequently as possible and keep them quite short, kind of less than 20 minutes or so. So it's a nice, concise thing that you could listen to and maybe spark some interesting discussions. You never know. Another plan for this podcast as well is to find promising cryptocurrency projects and mention them here, and kind of sort of try and team up with them as well. So more of that is going to come down the line in future podcasts, so you can make sure to stay tuned and follow that. And who knows, you might find a project which is new and you might want to invest in it. You never know. As always, of course, do your research. Don't treat anything of what I say as financial advice. And I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast. Any and all feedback is welcome and appreciated. I have never recorded a podcast before. This is my first time. I hope I did quite well. Make sure to let me know, and don't be afraid to be critical. I can take criticism, the constructive type, and any suggestions. I hope you had a nice time listening, and I'll catch you soon. And make sure to check the description for all the links about TacoCat.